Good morning, children. Let us start with a new chapter today. It is the political India. How this political expansion is taking place in India, that you are going to learn today. Okay. Now let us start. See, the British ruled India for almost 200 years. So what happened? India was a rich country and it had a lot of business centers also. But what happened was, British people came here just for trading purpose, for business purpose. So when they saw the wealth of India, what did they do? They started settling in India and they started ruling Indians. Okay, they overtook the Indians into their hands and they started ruling India. So they actually came only for the business purpose. But looking at all this richness in India, what happened? They themselves started ruling India. And Indians were slaves in the hands of the Britishers. Okay, they had to obey. Indians had to obey whatever the British were saying. So like that, how many years they were here? How many years? Britishers were here in India for almost 200 years. It was a monarchy wherein the orders of the Queen of England would decide how the country should be ruled. So what happened? It was monarchy, means everything was in the hands of the Britishers. Okay, during that period there were queens who were taking care. So one time what was that? There was the Queen of England. So she had taken the rule, like how the kings are there in the kingdom, they will be ruling. No, the same way this Queen of England took the charge of ruling India. And whatever she said that was a final decision. So whatever she said had to be followed by everybody. Okay. So wherein the orders of the Queen of England would decide how our country should be ruled. So see, they came here to have a business, but finally what happened? Whatever they ordered, we had to follow. Did you understand? They took the rule in their hand. So whatever this lady, that is the Queen of England, said, everybody had to follow her orders. Then in the year 1947, India became free of the British Raj. So in the year 1947, August 15th, what happened? India got independence, isn't it? That means the Indians chased away the Britishers. So Indians have taken the rule in their hands, in their own hands. So they got the freedom. So what happened? They got the independence on August 15th, 1947. On that day, all the Britishers were chased away to their own countries. So then in the year 1947, India became free of the British Raj. British Raj means British rule. Raj means here this rule. Further on January 26th, 1950, India became a republic. So on January 26, 1950, what happened? Our constitution was framed. Constitution means what? We had our own rules and regulations. Indians had their own rules and regulations, and that was all discussed in the central government. And you are aware of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He was the one to frame this constitution. So like that, what happens? On 26th January 1950, India became a republic, means they had their own rules and regulations. The constitution was framed. Okay. So further on January 26, 1950, India became a republic. This meant that the people of India would decide how they want to be ruled through their elected representatives. So what is meant by republic here? Means how we have to rule, how the Indians have to be ruled, what are the rules and regulations to be followed, and who is going to implement all those things. So for that, who all are the people who will be elected? Everything came into being on 26 January 1950. So it was through elected representatives. There was election taking place, and through election, what happened? They used to get the leaders to rule the country. Also, this meant that the president would be the head of our nation. Instead of a king or queen, and that he would also be an elected leader. So who will be the main person here to follow all the rules and regulations, to implement all the rules and regulations is the President of India. President of India is called the first citizen of India, and even he is also elected member only. He will also be elected by other people. So he is also by election. What happens? He will be taken as a highest authority. Highest authority means like king and queen. Now king means he is the highest authority for any kingdom, isn't it? And queen, you know, she will be the head for any rules to be implemented, isn't it? So like that. Also this meant that the president would be the head of a nation. Who will be the head? President will be head of the nation instead of a king or queen, and that he would also be elected leader. So he will also be elected by people. So elected leader. Understood? He himself cannot say I am the president. No. People have to elect him. Thus, a government was formed to govern a country as big as India. Like that what happened? There was a framing of government. So government came into existence, and that government, who was the head? President was the head. There are two types of governments in India, the central government and the state government. So the central government means throughout India there is one government, that is called as a central government throughout India, including all the states, heads, everything come under the central government. Understood? And one more is the state government. You know there are 28 states, isn't it? So every state, now it's 29. So every state has got their own head. You know the governor will be there, chief minister will be there, home minister will be there, and other ministers will be there under him. So there will be state government as well as the central government. In the central government also it is same thing, but it is throughout India. Full India will be under control. Understood? So like that the central government and the state government, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Clear? Now central government. The central government is the highest governing authority of our country. So central government, it is the highest authority. Means all the state governments, everything should come under the central government. So central government is the highest governing authority of our country. It is responsible for the progress and welfare of the entire country, including the 29 states and 7 union territories. So what does the central government do? Everything comes under its head, that is 29 states of India and 7 union territories of India, all together will be coming under central government. So that means the whole India is coming under central government. It is responsible for looking after issues such as, so what all they have to take care of? These people, party people, what they have to take care of? The central government. Education. They have to take care of education. Education means the elementary education, primary, then high school, secondary, then comes college, and again in colleges engineering, medical, Ayurvedic, like that. There are so many different, and technical, technologies. All these are the different branches of education. So education comes under that. Health, all the hospitals, clinics, everything. So all that comes under health. Security, the defense, then judiciary, all these things come under security. Food, no? Everyone have to get food. The need of food is also satisfied. So that also comes under central government. Transportation, about the vehicles, you know, including air, land and water. So airways are there, landways are there, waterways are there. Everything comes under transport. So all these things, there are so many other categories also. Everything comes under the central government. The central government primarily consists of the president. So who all come under the central government? The president is the head. The first citizen of India, I told you, is the head. So the central government is consisting of the president, the vice president, the prime minister, and his council of ministers. Who all come under that? Under central government? The president will come, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. So you know who is the President? Shri Ramnath Kovind, isn't it? Is the President. So the central government primarily consists of the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. So who all come under central government children? Main is the first citizen, who is that? The President, isn't it? Now at present, who is the President of India? It is Shri Ramnath Kovind, isn't it? Next is Vice President. Who is the Vice President presently? It is Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu. And then the Prime Minister, all of you are very much aware of that. It is Shri Narendra Modi, isn't it? And his Council of Ministers. Means there will be different categories. For Education Minister will be there. Then Home Minister will be there. Then External Affairs Minister will be there. Like that, there will be so many ministers. All these ministers together will form the central government. Then they are directly or indirectly elected by the people of India. So directly, some will be elected directly, some will not be elected directly. They will be elected by the members who are already elected, like MLAs and MPs. They will be voting and they will be electing the leaders. Understood? So like that, some people will be elected, some will be indirectly elected by people of India. So all those who have crossed 18 years can have the right to vote, isn't it? So like that, some will be voted by the members, some will be voted by the people. So the central government is based in New Delhi, the capital of India. Which is the capital of India? New Delhi. So where is the central government located? That is especially the Parliament House. Where it is? It is in New Delhi, isn't it? So the central government, everything, all the rules, regulations, everything will be taking place in the Parliament House. That is in the at New Delhi. It is at New Delhi in Parliament House. So that's about the central government. Now let us see about the state government. So coming to state government, India is a large country, isn't it? Already you know there are 29 states and 7 union territories, isn't it? So India is a large country. It is divided into smaller regions called states and union territories for the ease of the governance. For ease of governance means what? Easily the government can be taking place and it can frame their own rules and regulations and that can be implemented easily if it is in small number. When it is in big number, it is very difficult. So everybody will be given in charge. So who is given in charge here? The state government has given in charge to take care of that particular state. Understood? So what happens here? It is divided into smaller regions called states and union territories for the ease of governance. To rule, it will become very easy when it is in small units. States and union territories were formed on the basis of difference in culture, language spoken, the type of clothes worn, food eaten, etc. So how they are divided that into different states, in different union territories. How? On what basis it is done? It is done on the basis of culture. The Sanskriti, what they follow, no? The culture, that is called as culture. The language spoken. Now, for example, we are in Karnataka. Which is the language you speak? Here we use Kannada. So, if it is Tamil Nadu, Tamil, isn't it? If it is Kerala, Malayalam. If it is in Andhra Pradesh, Telugu. Like that, based on the languages they speak, the states have been divided. And even the type of clothes they wear. So, you see, in Karnataka, it is different style of wearing the dresses, clothes, especially in the men and women if you take. When you take to Maharashtra, it is different, isn't it? Jammu and Kashmir, it is different. So like that, it is all different. The ways of dress, what they wear. Rajasthan is different, Gujarat is different. Okay? Like that, see. The types of clothes they wear and also the food eaten. So in some places, rice only will be made food, staple food. In some places, ragi will be staple food. Some places, wheat will be staple food. Some jowar will be staple food. Like that, no main food what they eat depends upon the nature of the place where they are living. Understood? So, it is depending upon the food they eat. So, how it is differentiated? How these states have been divided? Based on the culture, language spoken, type of clothes worn, food eaten, etc. So like that the states have been classified. Presently, India has 29 states and 7 union territories. Each state has its own government. So each state is having its own government. So like that you can see so many different states here.